For a few months, madeleines have been my go-to dessert when guests come for tea. While traditionally made with lime zest, when I heard the recent royal wedding cake was flavored with lemon and elderflower, I decided to try that by modifying the recipe I use for madeleines from the Book of Tea by Fortnum and Mason. I'd heard how hard madeleines are to make, but this recipe is a doddle. First, you butter and flour a madeleine tin, which I use at least twice a month, unlike my bundt pan that I haven't used in 10 years. The shell-shaped molds make it tricky to flour, but a tea strainer helps. Preheat the oven to 375. Next, measure 80 grams of flour. I use white whole wheat, and add a teaspoon of baking powder. Then measure 80 grams of sugar. The recipe, being British, calls for caster sugar, so I give regular sugar a spin in the food processor to get the finer grain. Then measure 80 grams of butter, melt it, and let it cool. Then zest and juice a lemon. Whisk 2 eggs and the sugar until thickened. Fold in half the butter and half the flour, then the rest of the butter and flour. And don't forget the lemon zest. Divide the batter among the molds. Bake for 10 minutes. Pop each cake out and cool on a rack or place on a plate. I usually use my tea strainer to sprinkle confectioner's sugar on top, but today I wanted the elderflower flavor, so I'm using a glaze. I measured a half cup of confectioner's sugar, then added a teaspoon of Saint-Germain, an elderflower flavored liqueur, but you could also use non-alcoholic elderflower cordial. I also added a teaspoon of lemon juice. I stirred and slowly added more Saint-Germain until I had a drizzly consistency. I don't know how the flavor compares to the wedding cake, but these madeleines are delicious.